Yes, my name is Kenneth Loch of the TENNISSANCE method. Just want to get into what I'm calling tennis and yoga. I just did a video called, say, the interdisciplinary exercise of tennis, where I got into it a little bit, but I just wanted to do this video just to put something up, to kind of put that title up, and see if there's any people out there that have an interest in that. And ultimately, I'm here. What I can say is that the TENNISSANCE method actually represents kind of the means for, say, tennis players to understand yoga, and then yoga people to understand tennis. So it just turns out that ask a tennis player, if they ask them if they do yoga, say, and the idea that if they did yoga, well, they would do why did they practice yoga? You could ask them that. Why did they practice it? And then they can also then ask them why they practice tennis. And the idea there is that it's just kind of funny. It's kind of like an oxymoron kind of thing or something. It's just the idea that for someone to have a relationship with, say, tennis and yoga, and just say, well, it turns out that from my perspective now, or that the sport of tennis has nothing to do with the, say, the exercise of tennis, or the mind-body exercise. So the idea is, what I have to do is I have to lay out this whole idea that uh, how can they develop a relationship with yoga, when in fact their relationship with tennis is way off track. And then the idea that with, say, yoga, people who practice yoga, is there some, I think there might be some guys out there that are trying to make the connection between, say, yoga and tennis, and then tennis and yoga. But the idea is there, say, a yogi who is who would be like myself, would be like the genius, say, or just say they would also be, say, the yogi of tennis also. But I don't think there is anybody out there who actually even makes a claim of doing that, being that, whatever. So the idea of someone claiming to be, say, the yogi of yoga, and then the yogi of tennis, well, then they would teach both yoga, say, as say, a mind-body exercise, and then they would teach tennis as a mind-body exercise. And I'd have to say that ultimately I'm the first tennis player to actually teach it as a mind-body exercise. So there isn't, say, someone teaching tennis as a mind-body exercise, and then um, the idea that I have to question, say, yoga, when it comes to it being a mind-body exercise in relation to a teacher who teaches yoga as a mind-body exercise, and who is also able to recognize, tennis as a mind-body exercise, or even teach tennis as a mind-body exercise. So the idea, just it's kind of like an all or nothing kind of situation there. It's and then where I come in is that I'm claiming to be the first tennis player to actually, like, self-realize himself as a genius of tennis, and then reached enlightenment, teaching to the enlightenment now, both in relation to tennis being a mind-body exercise as well as a spiritual practice. So um, now I'm actually, say, offering the opportunity for students to learn. Pretty much on YouTube, I have my email on there if anybody's interested in beginning an education which is based on say, an interdisciplinary approach to tennis and yoga. And let me see if I can get anything else here. So the idea is that what I looked up in the dictionary on yogi is that a yogi, um, to qualify to be a yogi, you have to take yoga seriously, very serious. So it just it turns out that I use that reference. It's a good reference. I mean, just who doesn't? So the idea when it comes to, say, the exercise of tennis, the mind-body exercise and spiritual and all that, I represent, say, the first serious tennis player. And so the idea is that, I mean, actually, for a tennis player, say, to become serious at the exercise, they're going to have to kind of be able to recognize me in relation to my relationship that I have, and then how they can actually even recognize the nature of my seriousness in relation to my ability, my physical ability, and what I was able to develop and actually now maintain in my daily practice. Let me just shut it down there. I hope you got something from this. Thank you.